Both these laptops are designed for gamers, keeping performance as the most important factor, and they both come with hints of red to make it more appealing to the younger lot. The Asus GL552 is a Windows 8.1 laptop which houses a 4th generation Intel Core i7 processor, and it clocks at 2.6 GHz at the base and it clocks at 3.6 GHz. It also includes the NVIDIA GTX 950M, which does a great job at handling most games. The laptop boasts of 8 GB of RAM and a terabyte of storage, both of which can be upgraded when required. Needless to say, the laptop achieves the mission it was designed for. Our gaming experience was brilliant. We wanted to test the machine's capability by trying out a fast-paced game like Titanfall, and we can honestly say that it was a great experience. But the laptop didn't last more than 2.5 hours while gaming. It also isn't the lightest at 2.6 kgs, but with a 15.6-inch HD screen, a built-in DVD-ROM, and all the ports that you can ask for, we think that this is a well-balanced and decent gaming machine for the price point. The HP Omen, on the other hand, takes on a more tapering shape, which is different to most laptops. All the ports on this one are placed at the back, which is good for the fact that it's clean on the sides but a little painful to access. This machine also has hints of blue and red LEDs and a backlit keyboard. With a 15.6-inch screen, the laptop weighs in at 2.1 kgs, which is quite light for its size and specs. On the inside, it includes a Core i7 processor running at 2.5 GHz and 8 GB of RAM. The laptop runs on Windows 8.1 and has a 256 GB SSD. The additional GeForce GTX 860M is powerful, but when tested with games like Witcher 3 on full resolution, there seemed to be a bit of a lag. For the price, we feel that the Omen is a bit steep, and the fact that it lacks an optical drive is a big letdown for gamers, as that limits you to digital downloads only.
Well, clearly gaming is becoming more and more mainstream, but casual gamers, they still prefer tablets and smartphones over PCs. So the question is there a market for such machines? Anant is in the studio. Anant, you're an avid gamer as well.
Of course, Vikram. I think there's a big market for such machines because especially people like us who are not, I mean, I'm a gamer myself, but even video editors who are looking for powerful machines, what are the options out there in the market? And they're not tagged as video editing machines. So gaming machines are essentially performance workhorses. They are slightly bigger because they will have all the cooling, top of the line specs, the best of graphics cards, which you will not see in any other mainstream laptops. Now, when you want all that power, you have to go in for something like a gaming machine.
Right. So that market exists and it is thriving as well.
It's not thriving as such because, of course, a lot of people have switched from gaming laptops. It's not the prerogative anymore.
Right.
But the market still very much exists.
But what I'm seeing in front of us are cameras, and both are from Sony.
Yeah, Sony, in fact, they just announced them today. I've just come back from the launch, and this is the RX100 Mark IV and the RX10 Mark II. Now, both of them have been bestsellers for Sony, over the previous generations. But what's the big change this time around is both come with 4K recording inbuilt, and that's a very big deal.
That's a big move.
Absolutely. Now, we've seen, ironically, we've seen smartphones with 4K video recording, but nothing in the professional end. Professional end cameras are north of 1 lakh rupees. The cheapest that we've seen, we showed it before on the show, is the GH4 from Panasonic, which has inbuilt 4K recording.
Right.
But now this one, this is the RX100 Mark IV. This comes at about 70,000 rupees, and this has a 24-70 fixed lens at f1.8, if I'm right. And that's a big deal because there's a strong market out there, Vikram, that doesn't necessarily want to invest in a DSLR for the simple reason because they know that the body is half the story, the main cost factor is the lens, and there's no end to that. You can go on picking up all the lens you want, and the lens can be anywhere from 1 lakh to 4 lakhs, 5 lakh rupees. So there's a lot of investment after buying the body.
Sure.
So when you have products like these with fixed lens, you can't actually change the lens, but they pretty much cover a good focal range. This is 24 to 70.
Right.
This one is 24 to 200. This is obviously slightly more expensive. This is at 95,000 rupees. And they now come with all the professional features that you would see on the cameras that we are shooting right now.
Right.
So that's the kind of features we're talking about, from the picture profiles to 4K recording to even slow-mo. They claim that it can do 40x slow-mo, which is almost 1,000 frames per second. And these are features that you have not even seen in some of the professional cameras as of now.
So the capabilities are all built in both these cameras.
Yes.
Of course, this is the smaller one, but the price is still quite high.
Absolutely. And the price is high because it's going to give you professional quality in a compact and hassle-free design, because you're not changing lens. This is my one-stop solution for everything.
Correct.
24 to 200 millimeters, it pretty much covers everything. All I need is memory cards and batteries. I don't need a big lens bag, and I don't need to move around with that. And I think people like YouTubers today, with the way content has shifted,
correct,
with a lot of emphasis on content, a lot of people who have been aversive to DSLRs because they're too difficult to use or just new to camera as such,
right,
would love to pick up something like this. It'll give you that professional quality,
correct,
in a simpler user interface.
Right. Yeah, I've just captured you in a print, but you know, I'm just kind of looking at who this is meant for. Both these cameras with their fixed lenses, who would opt for them? Would a professional go for them?
I wouldn't, actually, I use DSLRs. I've tried the Sony Alpha series, which are more expensive. I've tried the Canon series. I like these cameras. You know, I like the practicality, because there are days when I want to step out with just one camera and one lens. So I would move around with the 24-70, but something like this with a 24-200. So as a second camera, if you're already if you're already tied into the Sony, and it actually doesn't make a difference which ecosystem you're tied into, because it's a fixed lens. So even if you're using a Canon 5D and you want a second camera that you want to play around with, or you just want 4K functionality, why not? Because it's a single-stop solution.
A single-stop solution. So what's it looking like for the future now with the kind of cameras that we are seeing from Sony? Are they getting their act together? Is there some kind of consolidation happening? What is going to be the next move as far as you're concerned, how you see Sony moving? Because like you started out by saying, this is 4K. And that in itself is the big one. Yeah.
So 4K functionality we've seen in some of the other cameras as well. Sony A7S and some of them have 4K functionality. But till now, you needed external recorders to record 4K. The camera itself was not capable of recording 4K.
Sure.
So now with faster processors, the emphasis has moved, and 4K is just going to become mainstream very soon. You know, we've been talking about the lack of content on 4K. Look at YouTube. Now, I mean, it's universally distributing 4K content, and you can just go there and select 4K. So with people seeing that on their smartphones everywhere, 4K is becoming mainstream. And I think where Sony is going with this is that they are going to maintain both sides of it, the professional range, which is the DSLR side of it, and products like this which bridge that gap between the professional and the consumer range, the prosumer range.
Yeah.
And these are products that are going to shine. A lot of people will pick these up.
Right. So these are the in-betweens, really.
Yeah.
For the kind of price that we are talking about, expensive they are, but are prices likely to come down going ahead from here, considering that you're saying that this is going to become more and more mainstream?
I don't see prices going down on products like these, because look at the lens. It's a Carl Zeiss 24-700.
Sure.
Even if you went out to pick up a lens like this, it would not cost you less than 50,000 rupees. Right. So here I'm bundling that lens with a body and saying, okay, what I'm taking away from you is the ability to change the lens.
Right.
So the same, if it was detachable.
So it's more of a convenience in that sense,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And
because you're getting the same quality.
Because it covers that range. As I said, 24-200 millimeters. You're pretty much covered.
Yeah, you're pretty much covered. But still, you're saying that this is a good second camera as far as...
Good first camera as well for a lot of people who are learning photography.
Right, for beginners.
Yeah. The question that actually came was, would a professional go for this?
Would a professional go for it?
For a professional, it's a great second camera.
Right.
It's a great second camera. But for first-time photographers who want to learn the basics of photography, don't want to invest too much in lens and actually get their basics right, this is something that they should check out.